What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everyone? Street Trading here. Want to put up our weekly watch list for this week's session, kicking off today, which is February 10th for the week to the 14th. All right, so let's kick it off. Obviously, we saw last week was just a monster run across the board. A lot of news coming out. Obviously, Tesla's insane run to nearly the 1,000 mark, and then the chasers that bought near those levels ended up getting their asses handed to them, squeezed. Come down to the 700 level, which is probably going to be living around that level for a while, but it was insane. Then you obviously had that Trump impeachment nonsense that obviously was just a complete waste of time. So, but nonetheless, everything was pushing higher. I think SPY ended up printing like maybe 12, 13 point run from the previous week's close. So we anticipate some continued pushing higher. Coronavirus is still around, obviously, but some subsiding a little bit. I think the street is kind of navigating its way around that. You obviously have some Chinese correlated stocks still getting, kind of taking the brunt of it. But there's some significant opportunities across the board for that as well. So anyway, we're going to kick it off with Boeing. Boeing just, kind of just shoved it to everybody's face. They were getting destroyed from all these bullshit news crashes, this, that, whatever. Everything is, listen, there's some truth, some not truth. There's a lot of shit going around with this company. However, it's not going anywhere. Boeing makes the planes, guys. All right, that's what we fly in. So, had a nice strong bounce off that zone in the 300s, low 300s, and it's just ripping higher. So we like it. It's holding a higher low last week. It traded up to supply, so we definitely think it's going to hold. Obviously, if it comes down here and takes out these levels here around this 329, 328, we'll step aside, but we think it's going to curl up and kind of continue trading in this level once more for this week. Beyond Meat, BYND, is a 15-minute chart. They obviously supposed to have earnings last week. They pushed them this week. Supposed to be aftermarket today. Obviously, these guys holding this level quite nicely throughout the month of January and beginning of February, and it had a nice run out of this level. So we looked for these levels to hold. Obviously, anticipate a solid report, and we think the kind of the footprints are there. So waiting for everything to happen. Once we anticipate a nice strong move to the upside, we think the boys are going to rip through this level and start trading up here again. So we have a 130 once these levels hold. If this 112, 115, 113, 114, 112 gets taken out, maybe going to start to live around here, but we don't think that's going to happen. We may have a little bit of dancing, but we think it's going to rip up once the hopefully a positive report comes out and starts pushing this thing higher. So we're going to be bullish on BYND. CDW holding a nice level, had a nice strong bounce beginning of last week, out of the zone. Brought it back down. Obviously, boys collecting more. So we're going to see how this is going to operate. We want this to hold. Obviously, a nice risk reward level around here. It runs 3 points, so nothing crazy ATR, but had a decent amount of volume coming out on Friday. So we anticipate some holding, a nice curl. So waiting for the curl to push up higher. So we're going to be bullish for CDW. Shopify traded pretty nicely all last week. Had a nice rip to the upside. So right now it's going pretty much zone to zone. We want to see this curl happening. It needs to base out around here. Any pullbacks to this level should hold. And so we're going to be bullish for Shopify. Obviously, they have their report on the 12th. So we anticipate a nice run back to this 500 level. Well, it hasn't touched 500 yet, but we anticipate a positive report. We should see this nice rip because these guys run quite nicely when it does. So waiting for everything to happen. I'm going to see how it's going to trade today's session and tomorrow's session. But we anticipate a nice run to the upside. Again, contingent that everything is positive and none of these levels gets taken out. SWKS had a nice week for us last week. Went zone to zone. It came right back down to the level again. We like where it's at. Nice risk to reward. We feel that it should hold these levels quite nicely. It might dance around a little bit, but we definitely see a nice push to the upside. So nice risk to reward level. Looking for a nice solid run to the high teens to the 120 for this week's session. Next up, we got the trade desk. Again, a nice, solid run for us last week on our watch list. Going to continue putting these guys on our watch list for this week. They're printing the reports in this month. We think it should swallow this area again, at least 50 to 60% of it. So it gives us a nice 10, 15 point move until the report comes out. So we want these levels to hold. Might see a little bit of dancing around here probably, but then we're like a nice curl to the upside. So we think this is kind of the line in the sand for right now before a report comes out, and see what's going to happen after that. But that being said, it gives us a nice 10 to 15 points until that occurs. TTW. Yes, wait for the bounce. So you can see, right here, it's at a very significant level of interest. Obviously, you had a departure from top ownership, and they had a little bit of a report coming out last week, which took them down. But again, this company is not going anywhere. Esports not going anywhere. So we think it's a nice level for risk to reward. We want to see this curl first, not hopping in just to hop in. Could take it out, come back, come lower, of course. But that being said, I think it's going to probably fill this gap this week. However, we want to see the gap. We want to see the nice curl first. We're not hopping into anything until the boys prove otherwise. So we're going to be bullish for TTWO. I think it's a nice risk to reward. Big picture, but again, not until the move occurs. So we're going to be waiting, but will be bullish for TTWO. Going to wrap it up with TWLO. Nice bounce off the zone last week. It's holding quite nicely. We see this curl coming up, so we're going to be bullish for these guys. Again, boys are taking it up. These are key levels of interest where nice opportunities. You have fundamentally sound companies, trading at low levels. I mean, this is just perfect opportunities for the boys to buy in. So that's why you saw this nice run out of the zone, currently up to the upside. So we're gonna be bullish for TWLO, TWLO Incorporated, coming out of the tech sector. So that's what we got, guys. Obviously, these levels need to hold. Any pullbacks needs to hold. Anything further than that 119, 118, we're going to flush it. But other than that, we think it should hold, and we should see a nice 10-point rip to this level up here for this week's session. So that's what we got, guys. We got the 8 going into the session. Obviously, for members, we're going to go into a deeper video breaking down what we're looking at moving forward. So check that out. All right, guys. Any questions, reach out to us. As always, be patient with price, be patient with setups. And respect your stops. You're wrong, cut your losses, get out, reassess your situation, take a step back. If you're right, hop back in. If not, learn and move on. All right, guys, any question, reach out to us. Have a good week.
Remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our trading videos.